Hello, so I'm going to show you another example of how can I use a CSV or TXT file to do something useful using Java. So in other words, why do we need this story about reading files anyway? So the example is, okay, just very quickly again, we've done it already. So here is my data and it's saved in a file called movies.txt. So lots of movie names. And what I want to do is I want to read the file and I want to create an output file, okay? And in that output file, I'm only going to write movies that are of the genre action. So in other words, I'm going to read this, and if I say action, write that to another file. Action, write it to a file. This one, don't write it. This one, don't write it. Don't write this one. This one, oh, write it. Okay. So this is what I want to do. So if I had 20 million records and I just want to take some of them and keep some of them in a separate file, so I extract the records that I want and put them into a separate file so that I've got a more manageable amount of data or whatever. So it's just to keep those data separate. Right, okay, so what am I going to do? So here I've again got the variables with my file names in. Where should it read from? It is going to read from movies.txt and it will write to a file called file location actions.txt. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to create a print writer object, because when I want to write, the class that I'm going to use to write with is called printWriter. Again, I'm going to, in the try catch, create my object, and I'm going to say pw equals new printWriter, and in the brackets I've got to put the variable name that contains the file and the file path and the location and the file name. Okay, so I've created the object that will be used for writing to a file. And now I'm going to iterate my file, and for as long as there's data in the file, read up until the delimiter, which is the end of line indicator. So read to the end of the line and put it into a string variable line. Okay, now I want to say if this line contains, and I want to say if it contains action. So in other words, if the line contains a movie of which the drama is action, okay, you know what? Then I want to write that record to the actions file, which is and I'm going to use my PW. I'm going to say PW write. So and write line to it. Okay. So here I say if the line contains action, take the line and write it using the print writer and put it into the file that the print writer knows what it is. So which is that one, which is that one, which is that one. So I'm going to write to the actions file if it's an action movie. Okay, now I just want to do something small here. I want to say to lowercase, okay, because I want to compare whatever's in the line, change it to lowercase, and then see if it contains action, which is also in lowercase. So it doesn't actually change my variable to lowercase, it just checks the value converted to a lowercase against the lowercase. When I write the line, it will still be in its original case construction. Okay, now finally, I just want to, after I've completed my while loop, I want to say close the print writer, otherwise my data will get lost. In the same way, if I'm in Excel or in Word and I type things and then I close without saving, I lose that what I didn't save. I need to close my print writer, otherwise I'm going to lose data. Okay, so let's quickly run this. I run it. Okay, and now what will happen? Let's see. Okay, it says start finish. Now let's see if that file exists and if it actually keeps my action files. So I'm going to open it with my notepad, and oh, that's wonderful and fantastic. There I've got my 3 action files in the file. action movies in the file. And that is how you read and test. So I read data, I test for a condition, and if it matches my condition, then write to the print writer. So just remember, open your print writer, write it, and then close. And that's all.